All right, welcome back, my dear students. I wanted to start this video with this view so that way you can, feel this refreshment in your mind and get ready to learn some really cool stuff with migrations, all right? So, let's open our editor, all right? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter which editor you use, even though I would love you to use PHP Storm, which is really cool, guys. It's one of the best IDEs out there. It's not an editor, it's just an IDE, integrated development environment. All right, we have a whole bunch of features here. They're really cool. But anyway, so now that you know how to migrate our migration files, and I wanted to start this video away from the migration file so that way you learn where it is. So remember, we open our folder, we go to database, it makes sense, right? And then we go to migrations, and then we find it right here. We just double click on it, and this is where we have our files, right? Or classes, right? So like I said, now that you know how to migrate, let's actually create a migration from scratch, which is really cool, I think, right? Let's just come here and clear, enter, right? And then let's create a migration. So how do we create a migration? Remember when I told you how to use this tool, PHP Artisan, and how to get information out of it? Just type PHP Artisan and then enter, and then you can see everything that you can, all the commands. And we're going to be using this command, migrate. And we create the command are like this. You write the command migrate and then a colon. And then after you tell it what you want to do. So in the case of migration, we just say migrate and it will migrate the database. But if we want to make a migration, we're going to have to use the make command right here. And we can make whatever we want. So we're going to make a migration, right, guys? And ladies, of course. So let's clear this again, clear enter. And now let's say PHP Artisan, right? Make colon migration. All right, now I want you to pay very close attention to this. We have the name of the migration. I want you to follow this convention because this is the convention that Laravel uses, right? Laravel developers use this. All lowercase, and we separate each word by a underscore, a dash, right? So we're gonna make a migration. We're gonna call this. We gotta use this. Create post table. You see that? All right. Now we're gonna use a flag. All right. We're gonna say two hyphens there, and we're gonna say create, and then we're gonna do this equal symbol, and then whatever we want. So I'm gonna put it in double quotes, and we can say I'm going to create a table named post. So I hope you see the convention, the way this is created. PHP Artisan make colon migration, and then the name, the actually a description of how you want your migration to be named. All right, create post table, a little flag here to tell Laravel to tell this command line tool that we want to create a table named post. Then we click enter. And now all we have to do is click back here, and now you should see that migration there very soon. In your case, it might be just there. Right now, for some reason, it's taking a little bit of time in my right here. There we go. I have a lot of monitors around me and a lot of things running, so it takes a little bit for this to work on me. It depends on the memory that you're using and how fast your computer is sometimes. But anyway, you see the migration right here, and we click it, we double click it. Out of the box, we have some boilerplates, right? We have some information already. We have the up method, the down method. We have the name of the table. We have some column. We have an incremental ID column automatically, and we have some timestamp that created and updated that, right? Pretty cool stuff, right? So now I'm gonna use that object, right? That dependency injection right here. You see that? This object, just like I explained to you a video or two videos ago. Table, and then what is it that I want on the next column? I want to have a string named what? Title, because I'm creating a post table. Then I want another one. I want, whoops, I want to create the body of my post, and I'm gonna use text for this. All right, because that would mean that I'm gonna write a lot of text, right? So that could be the body, right? And if I wanted the title to be unique, I just do this, unique, and just, right. I could do that. There's a lot of things that little functions that you can use. There's another function called nullable. There are many of them, and you can look it up on the PHP, um, not at php.net, on the laravel.com website. Nullable. All right, we have default. So if you want a default value on it, you can do that. All right. You can do unsigned for integers. I mean, you name it, they have it. Pretty cool stuff. So now that I have my definition here for the table, all right, I'm gonna migrate it. So PHP artisan migrate, enter. There we go. Now it's migrated. All I have to do is go back to PHP my admin and find it there. All right. So I want you to go to PHP my admin and make sure that that table is there. All right. All right. So I'm gonna actually traveling there myself. Well, not traveling. Let's go and find it right here, Laravel CMS. And as you can see, we got the post table with all these fields, which is pretty cool, right, guys? Now, let's say I change my mind and I want to edit this table. I don't have to come here to structure and change it. I don't have to do that with my Laravel awesome framework. What I got to do is I go PHP Artisan, all right, migrate, colon, roll back, enter. Now we roll back the post table. That was the last one we did. So this rolls back, or it deletes that table, deletes the last migration that you did. So now if I go to PHP My Admin and I refresh this, let's go to Laravel CMS, and as you can see, the post table is nowhere to be found. Pretty cool, right? I can also do, now we can edit this and just call this content. All right. And now I can press my up key, my keyboard, and PHP Artisan migrate again, enter. Now if I refresh, we can see that we have the post table again with that new change, right? Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. All right, so in the next lecture, we're going to learn some more stuff about migration, and I hope you have a lot of fun here, and I hope you see the usefulness, how useful it is to use migrations. All right, you don't have to travel back and forth, and if you're working with a team, it's very easy for you to give them the application and let them create it, put it in their projects, migrate the tables instead of creating the tables from PHP My Admin or manually having to configure that, right? You already defined it here in the application, and once you give it to them, they can just migrate it and they have their tables. Pretty cool. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. On the next lecture, we're going to be learning some more cool stuff, all right? So keep active, get your coffee. If you don't drink coffee, get a natural energy drink and keep it up. You're learning really good stuff here, right, guys? Feel proud. Take care.